What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about 5 of the main skills that attributed to me being able to purchase my Lamborghini at the age of 21. Now, there's a bunch of different skills and things you need, whether you're working your own job, whether you started your own business, you're being an entrepreneur, you're in school and you're just thinking of start. These 5 things are the biggest factors to my success and why it happened so quickly and so fast. So I'm going to jump right into this, but some of the things that I see people saying that you need in order to be successful, you need to be able to start with a lot of money. You need to be smart. The amount of times I hear people saying they're not smart and that's why they won't be successful. Being smart doesn't matter at all. You could be dumb as a rock, and if you have these skills or can do these, then you will be fine. So the first principle is going to be self-education. Now, self-education just means being able to teach yourself how to do something. There's an infinite amount of resources out there online, whether it's through YouTube or courses or blogs, whatever it be, books, that will teach you certain things, and you can literally learn how to do anything. Example is when I was starting my own journey a couple years ago, I was looking up ways to make money online, and I discovered a ton of different possibilities. Kindle publishing, affiliate marketing, selling on Amazon, selling on Shopify, doing a YouTube channel, etc. And what I did was, I decided, I did a little research on each, saw which one thought I would do the best at, and I went and I learned that a ton more. Now, there's enough information out there to learn pretty much anything. There's nothing where it's a secret, this information isn't anywhere else for the most part. Now, this means you can go teach yourself literally whatever you want to do. So if you think you're stupid, well, it doesn't matter. Go educate yourself if you think you're stupid. You're literally the problem if you're saying that about yourself. There's no reason you shouldn't be smart in your own head or be able to teach yourself how to do something. I don't care if you're not book smart or you're bad at math or whatever it is. As long as you can just think and have common sense, you are fine. And you can teach yourself literally whatever you want to do. Now, this isn't just something you do at the start of your journey. This is something you should be forever doing. I have to teach myself more now to keep up and be ahead of a game than I did at the beginning when I was trying to learn one skill. So it's a never-ending process. So that's number one. Number two is the ability to be able to strategize and just lay things out and make goals. Now, a lot of my success is due to the strategy and the plan I make. So I lay out exactly what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, so I know I need to take these steps in order to do this, which will yield this result. And a lot of that is goal setting and learning a certain strategy through that self-education. But a lot of it, not a lot, some of it is setting the goals that are action-oriented instead of just saying, I want to make $5,000 a month. I'm going to say, okay, if I want to make $5,000 a month, I need to do X, Y, and Z. And by doing X, Y, and Z, I will be able to get this result, which will then lead to that goal of whether it's money or a certain result-based goal instead of an action-based goal. So making an action-based goal, like I'm going to post 5 YouTube videos a week. I'm going to find at least or spend 2 hours a day looking for products on Amazon, etc. And laying out that strategy. Now, yes, strategy is important, but sometimes if you're doing that too much, it stops you from number 3, which is taking action. Taking action is more important than the strategy because so many people get hung up on waiting to have the perfect plan, the perfect time to start, feeling like they know everything. And they're so worried about step 50 that they don't even do step 1 first. And step 1 through 49, they're waiting on doing because they don't know how to do step 50 yet, or they're unsure about it. And that is one of the biggest mistakes I see. And a lot of people be, I don't know where to start. Okay, well, start on something. You should be able to identify one of these starting steps. A lot of people are saying they don't know where to start because they're already looking way too far ahead. Yes, you should be looking at the overall plan, and that's part of the strategy, but you don't need to know it perfectly. And a little newsflash is it's never going to go as you plan. It's never going to be, I made this plan, I'm going to follow this and do this. It's never going to go as you plan. Things are going to screw up, and it's just everything is going to get messed up, and that's how entrepreneurship works. And that brings me to number 4, which is problem solving. If you're an entrepreneur, you're a problem solver. That's pretty much all entrepreneurship is. And now I'm not saying that in the sense of, okay, we need to solve people's problems, so we're going to make a product that solves those problems. You've probably heard that 10,000 times, and there's tons of ways to make money without having to do that. But in essence of working for yourself, you're going to have to solve problems. There's always going to be something going wrong that you're going to have to fix, and think around how you can fix it. So if you have an issue and you just say, oh, that's an issue, I don't know what to do about it, well, you're not going to be a successful entrepreneur. You need to be able to say, okay, this is my problem, and guess what? If you don't know how to fix it, self-education. Go teach yourself. It's out there, how to fix it, see what other people are doing, and just looking at everything and being able to just critically think around it. And that's partly where your strategy comes in. So number 4 is problem solving. Nothing will go as planned, and staying with your strategy. And 3 is taking action. So action was just so important, because so many people are waiting till they know exactly what to do. The perfect example is if I say, hey, go start this car, and you're saying, well, how am I going to park the car when we get where we're going? And you never go anywhere. Well, you'd be a lot better off going somewhere and then figure out where you're going to park, instead of trying to figure out that even before you start the car or get the keys or whatever it be. That's my lame reference for it. There's a bunch of different ones like that. But you're so focused on step 10, you're not even starting step 1. Don't worry about how to do step 10 until you get there. Now, again, it's not that black and white. Yes, you will want to think about what it is, but you don't know how to do it perfectly. That is okay. Now, the last thing, and I think this is, I don't want to say one of the biggest. This is by far my biggest attribute to myself, in my opinion, and that is consistency. Consistency, no matter what you're doing, and it's not something that you're born with. Now, some people more so than others. With consistency, I've had it since I was younger, but it's because I've practiced it, and that's what I've made my routine. I like to stick to my routine. I do the same thing pretty much every day, and then, of course, have open spots later in the day for different activities, whatever I want to do, and I can live my life how I want. But consistency with whatever you're doing is going to be the key to success. Now, obviously, you need to know what you're doing. You need to take action, and you need to have kind of goals and a strategy. But if you do it for a month or two and then stop, you won't be successful at it. If you fail for a month or two, you need to keep going. Most people don't succeed their first month, 2 or 3, especially when it's something brand new. And you're going to feel like you don't know it. Guess what? Because you don't. You've only been doing it for a month or two. So many people look for what works online, and they'll go try something for a month, fail at it, and say, oh, this doesn't work, and move on to the next thing. And then they do that. So you're starting all over again as a beginner, instead of taking the month or two of trial and error and the stuff you've taught yourself and learned, and using that to figure out what you did wrong, and then go and change that and try again. Now, I was looking online for a bunch of stuff when I started, and I initially found Kindle publishing, which is just ebooks through Amazon. And I tried that, published a couple books, and I was making like $20, $30 every week or two. And I was like, well, this doesn't work. I'm going to switch, which in my mind was right at the time, because I was doing what I was told, but I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't educating myself more. I did what a guy on YouTube videos in a course I took for $50 said. And instead of thinking about how it works, how I can change this, I just said, okay, I'm going to try something else. And that's when I moved to Amazon, and it kind of clicked that I need to stick with one thing, learn it really well, and go teach myself as much as I can about it and go apply that. And a big thing, going back to the problem solving, is if something is not working for you and it's working for other people and you know they're being successful, hence pretty much any way to make money online, agency, Amazon, Shopify, affiliate marketing, whatever it is, there's people making money doing it. It's not it doesn't work, it's you. You need to figure out what those people are doing different than you, what you're doing wrong, which comes into self-education, and solve that problem, figure out how to solve it, the problem solving. And if you do that consistently and take action on it and have a strategy, wow, all 5 points we just talked about, then you will be successful. So those are the biggest parts in my success. That is pretty much the reason I am where I am today and able to live in the house I live in, have the cars I have, and just live that lifestyle. Now, to recap, I'll kind of tell you my story really quick with how these play in. It's kind of integrated in the video, but the first one being self-education. I was looking on YouTube, I was looking on Google. It originally started with how to make money online as a Google search at the age of, I believe, 18 or 19. I'm 23 now. And I went from looking at things like reselling things, writing articles for small amounts of money that aren't real businesses, just small ways to make money, to finding ways to create a real business like an Amazon one and go from there. And I went through a bunch of blogs. I went through at least 1,000 YouTube videos. I would say outside 3-4 hours a day in between my college classes and watch those and learn them, take notes. And I went from there and all the way to this point, teaching myself tons of different things. I have to self-educate more now than ever to stay up to date with everything and ahead of the game. Strategy, I created a strategy by taking notes, write down step by step what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna accomplish those, which are my action-based goals. And then I just jumped straight in and took action and started doing those. I actually took action before I created that strategy because I knew what step one was and I wanted to get there quick. So I did step one while learning and creating that strategy. And with problem solving, I encountered so many problems along the way with pretty much everything I've ever done, which is completely normal, especially as entrepreneurship, but being able to adapt, look at what you're doing wrong and change it. And then consistency, I've been doing it for a couple years now, which in the side of everything is not a long time, but I failed for 6 months straight on Amazon. And before that, I was researching for 2 or 3 months, 5, 6, 7 hours a day on how to be successful doing this. So I stayed with it for a very long time. The reason my YouTube channel blew up so quickly is because I was doing daily uploads every day for almost an entire year. That is why I either got lucky, people would say, or I just happened to blow up quick and it was just a fluke. No, it's consistency. There wasn't just, oh, I'm gonna start this and throw out random crap. There's a lot of work behind it and strategy, and it is a mix between working hard and working smart and combining those. But if you guys follow those main things, and the main thing I can't stress enough is, one, sticking with one thing for a decent amount of time, being consistent, and just taking action even when you don't know. You can literally teach yourself whatever you want. There's no reason you should be stuck not taking action. If you've been looking at something, trying to learn it for over a month or two, then you need to kind of check yourself and say, okay, why am I not taking action? What am I waiting for? Why am I scared? And I get, probably the number one question I get asked is, what do I do if I'm scared to start or don't know where to start? How do I take action? If you can't force yourself to, then you really don't want it that bad. Yes, you're gonna be nervous. Yes, it's scary, but who cares? You have to do it. It's part of the process. If you fail, great. Let people know you failed. They're not gonna expect much from you if they know you fail. So when you find success, it's gonna be that big of a difference if you're worried about what people think. So those are the 5 things that really attributed to me being able to purchase my first Lamborghini and even my second one. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Let me know if you agree with these 5, or let me know what your 5 are, and I will see you guys in the next video.